We are so excited to have all of you with us today. As a reminder, I'm Jill Buck. I'm the founder and CEO of the Go Green Initiative. We have entered into a 5-year partnership with the National School Boards Association, and we are working to improve indoor air quality throughout America's schools. We are working in all 10 EPA regions. We have staff that actually visit school sites. But we're also providing training and tools and do-it-yourself opportunities for school districts throughout the country. And part of that training is monthly webinars. And we are working with, and very proud to be working with, Bibb County Schools in Macon, Georgia. And not only are they working on indoor air quality, they are working on energy efficiency and have been for a long time. And that is actually part of the grant that we have received from the EPA in alignment with making sure that we're improving indoor air quality. We are also helping school districts do that in an energy efficient way. And so we are proud to hold up Bibb County Schools as a fine example of what can be done when a school district measures and monitors and keeps track of its energy portfolio. And so I am going to be turning it over to Antonio Simmons now, and I will be throwing up their slides. If you have any questions, since this is a Zoom webinar versus a Zoom meeting, any questions can be put in the Q&A box, and we will get to those at the end. But I want to thank you all for joining us. And now I'm going to share the slides and turn it over to Antonio. And you can introduce your team as well.
Thanks, Jill. Again, I am Antonio Simmons. I'm the Director of Facilities and Maintenance for Bibb County School District. To my left, I have Paul Brewer, who's our Energy Manager for Bibb County School District. And to my right, I have Jessica Morris with Synergistic, our partnership to help us keep this energy management going very well here at Bibb County School District. So I would like to get started to talk a little bit about for strategy sustainability, how we actually mastered our energy management here at Bibb County Schools. I just want to start off with saying good day, everyone. Thank you to Go Green Initiative, again, Synergistics, for creating the space to share our journey. I'm excited to share Bibb County School District journey towards stronger energy efficiency, sustainability. This session is designed to be practical but transparent work. What we learned, how the partnership helped us move forward from strategy to real results. Today, I'm not just presenting energy data, I'm sharing a transformation story. A story about how a public school district moved from reactive operation to strategic energy leadership. Energy efficiency is often viewed as a facility issue. In reality, it's a leadership issue. It's about stewardship, accountability, operation discipline, and sustainability that extends beyond budget and community responsibility. Again, our journey at Bibb County School District has been about moving from isolated improvements to systematic sustainability. And that shift requires strategy, structure, and culture change. Next slide, please. Here you see our beautiful skyline of Bibb County, but also I'll share with you guys our district overview. We have a diverse building portfolio, varying buildings and systems, district-wide operational responsibility. So we manage a wide range of facilities. Go back, please. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry about that.
Manage a wide range of facilities, older campus to newer buildings with advanced systems. The diversity creates challenges in consistency, monitoring, and performance, but it also creates opportunity when managed strategically. We manage a diverse, again, facilities ranging from historical campus to modern campus, equipped with advanced HVAC systems. What we oversee here, multiple decades of construction styles, various HVAC technologies, differing insulation standards, inconsistent control system across the sites. The diversity presents operational complexity. Standardized become difficult. Performance tracking become inconsistent. Troubleshooting becomes requires broad expertise. But complexity also presents opportunity. If managed strategically, portfolio-wide optimization can yield substantial performance gains. Our responsibility is district-wide. Every building, every system, every utility meter that contributes to our operational performance. Next slide. Where's the starting point? First, we identify our challenges. Again, inconsistent energy performance, limited visibility, reactive operation. But first, before our focused efforts, energy management was largely reactive. We lacked consistent visibility in how our buildings was operating day to day, which made it difficult to identify inefficiencies or standardized practices. We faced limited real-time visibility, inconsistent scheduling practice, manual overrides left unresolved, no unified accountability structure. Without a centralized tracking and a behavior alignment, even good systems can underperform. That challenge wasn't This challenge wasn't just technology. It was process discipline and performance ownership. As you see, the light bulb went off, and we continue to endure these challenges. Next slide. So why energy efficiency? Why does it matter in K-12? First, rising utility costs. Again, those aging schools, student comfort and learning. Here in Macon, Georgia, we are center of Georgia, where there's a lot of humidity. So student comfort is essential throughout our district. So that is a very much essential line of thought. Long-term sustainability. Energy efficient in K-12 isn't just about reducing costs. It's about the stewardship of public resources, creating environments where students can learn comfortably and safely. As districts face aging infrastructure, tightening budget, as we all are there, all enduring throughout K-12 nationwide, energy management become a critical operation priority. In K-12 education, every dollar matters, as you all know. Utility costs are one of the largest non-instructional expenses in any district budget. As we all know, the first thing we look at is the light on or off. When energy use is unmanaged, funds are diverted from the classroom. Equipment life cycles are shortened. Deferred maintenance, as we know in facility, is accelerated. Learning environments become inconsistent. Energy efficiency directly impacts thermal comfort, indoor air quality, student concentration, and also staff morale. It's not about just lowering the bills, it's about creating predictable, healthy, and sustainable environments where students can perform at their best. For district managing aging infrastructure, energy efficient becomes one of the most controllable cost avoidance strategies available. Next slide, please. Early implementation. As you see, I'm meeting with others throughout the district to talk about technology versus behavior, the training needs, accountability gaps. We learned early on was that technology must be paired with behavior and accountability. And that's everyone throughout the district. System can be overridden, schedule can be ignored, and without training, even the best tool falls short. Here's what we learned. Technology does not replace culture. As you know, people are creatures of their own environment, right? So they're going to always do what they're accustomed to doing. So when we implemented new things, we always heard this is what we always done. As our facility and maintenance department, we always try to say new day, new way. And that's basically mean it's a new way of thinking, a new way of doing things. So technology does not replace that culture. So we must implement it over and over and over again. We identified 3 core gaps: inconsistent training across the sites, lack of clear energy ownership at school level, no standardized reporting cadence. So Equipment performed at a level of processes surrounding it. Energy management must be measured, communicated, reinforced, and owned. That realization led us to rethink our approach entirely, district wide. Next slide, please. So, Paul will tell you a little bit about our building automation system and how day to day, pretty much how do we operate and what we look for.
In these slides right here, you can see at a glance the overall temperatures throughout the building. Green means that the building is satisfied. Yellow means it's a little warmer than normal. Blue means it's a little colder than normal. You can also see the set point ranges in the bottom left-hand corner of where we kind of maintain our set points at. On the bottom right-hand side of that corner, you can actually see the trends of that space temp in those certain areas. So you can go back and look for problems that you haven't even seen yet. And if you really want to get into a deeper dive of it, we can go that far.
Trends.
That's the trends are bottom right hand corner.
Okay.
Right there.
So this allowed us to centralize our HVAC scheduling, monitor the run times, adjust temperature set points remotely, as Paul mentioned to you guys. In that bottom left corner, those are our temperature set points. And that's where we pretty much get those colors from as we go throughout the day. Identify normals faster. So that's the bottom right corner, the trends. We can actually see what our HVAC units are doing throughout the day. For example, if we get a call and say the unit worked fine until 1 o'clock every day, we can definitely look at our trends and know that that HVAC system is operating early in the morning. But when we get in the mornings, but when we get those warm bodies into those school buildings, then we can see that sometimes the HVAC system cannot maintain that temperature. That's a clear indication of that unit is not working efficiently. So that's one of the biggest things that helps us with our building automation system. Also, lighting. We can control lighting at some of our schools. So for motion. So sometimes when people are not in the building, it picks up the motion and the lights turn on, but then they'll turn off. So these are small things but it's bigger throughout the district when we talk about those taxpayers' dollars moving forward. Building automation is basically our centralized hub of noticing what we can change utility-wise throughout the district. Next slide. Why partner with Synergistic? That's a great question. We want to structuralize energy management, behavior-based approach, external accountability. Even though we have staff that is monitoring these things, we have HVAC technicians. Well, we need someone here when no one is here. So the realization led to partner with Synergistic. We needed a structured approach that addressed not just system, but behaviors, expectation, accountability across the district. Sometimes it's not always need to come from the facility and maintenance department. Sometimes it need to come from an external organization saying, hey, join our team and save the district some money with energy efficient. So this is what Synergistic provide. Again, the behavior-based energy management model, dedicated energy coaching, data analysis with actionable insights, external accountability with benchmarking. The partnership shifted energy facilities owning issue to a district-wide initiative. It introduced clear expectations, defined roles, consistent reporting, leadership visibility. That shift changed outcomes. And sometimes we use Synergistic as the bad cop, good cop. Sometimes they're the bad cop. So, so they can go and tell everyone what they're doing wrong and more so how they need to turn lights off. And then we can come in and say today and say, hey, we're here to fix it. So that's kind of our partnership sometimes with Synergistic. Next slide, please. Here, I'm gonna let Jessica Morris talk to you guys about her unoccupied energy audits. When she goes in the building, normally after hours, normally on the weekends, this brave soldier here goes into all the schools on these times with her flashlight, ready to take on the district like Ghostbuster. So I'll let Jessica talk now.
Thanks. So my role is an energy specialist. So basically, I'm in the buildings when no one else is there. When I come into a building, I'm looking to see if there's any occupants in the building that shouldn't be there. we have a scheduling system that they schedule their events through, and I monitor to make sure there's no what I call ghost energy anywhere in the building. Once I do that, I walk the entire building. I'm looking for lighting left on, units that are running that aren't scheduled to be running or should be in unoccupied mode, and I investigate those units. And I don't turn the wrenches or rewire anything. That's not what I do, but I'm the bridge. So when I find an issue, I gather as much information as possible, and then I bring it to the HVAC team. The HVAC team will then be able to go directly to that unit, fix it, and then everyone will be nice and efficient, and we can get everything back up and running. Part of my job too is monitoring the bills. So during that time, if there are any spikes in water or energy, a lot of time my audits are driven by that. So when I'm in the building, I'm gonna try and troubleshoot to see, okay, well, are these toilets running? I go in the kitchen and check for leaks. Are these sinks running? And I report those back, and I make sure that I have video evidence so that the techs and the plumbing supervisors know exactly what they're looking for and looking at. And Synergistic provides platforms to help me monitor that kind of thing. We use Measure and GreenX app, which helps me with my audits. And I also provide Antonio with what we call a PL communication sheet. And in that sheet is any issues I find with documentation. And this is where our accountability comes in. So principals that are not checking their buildings before they leave and making sure lighting's off and things like that, they kind of get put on the sheet, and they don't like that. So they tend to correct that as soon as possible. Also, during holidays, that is when I am my busiest because I check every building, every room, and we send out a checklist ahead of time of the holiday to make sure that the teachers are unplugging everything and turning everything off and reporting any issues so that we don't have a sink flooding over the holiday or something like that. And the checklist has proven to be a great way to hold them accountable. They fill it out, they post it on their door, and then I come around with my handy dandy little Post-it notes, and I check the room, and they get a nice little Post-it note saying thank you for helping us save energy. And when I go up to the front desk, they get a little card, and I thank them for everything that they do. And you know what? It works. They're happy to get those stickers. They like the acknowledgement, and that's how we all share the responsibility.
So, as I said earlier, Synergistic started off as the bad cop, but then it turns into the good cop because Jessica pretty much have our school secretaries and our admin in love with her about how she actually approached them about turning lights off. So now I'm the bad cop. So when she gives me those PL audits, I send them out to the principal and say, hey, you left classroom so many open, lights on, lamps on, heat script, I'm sorry, the great plugins, scent warmers and things like that. So the culture is now these principals do not want to be on the naughty list. I guess for Antonio's naughty list. So now Jessica is the saving grace for the district. She actually have these schools to really report these things. We use our system throughout the district, Facilitron, to schedule events. And that's most important because we are trying to prevent these issues of having units running, and basically that gives Jessica a baseline of what should be on and what should be off. So if when she say ghost units, that meaning that this unit is scheduled off and she walks the buildings and if she sees that unit on, that's a clear indication that we having issues with our units. These things will not be caught if Jessica was not walking these buildings. On the flip side, when she comes to these schools, things that are not scheduled, a lot of times we do learn that the school principal is throwing a picnic or a barbecue that wasn't scheduled into our system. Again, in Georgia, we get high humid temperatures. So these units are running profusely throughout the weekend when they're not scheduled. And again, we want to make sure that things are not overridden. A lot of times, staff will override the thermostat, forget about them. There's a lot of parameters that we have put in place for 30 minutes, an hour that it should shut off. But again, this is what Jessica's walking through to make sure that these units are off at the time. So we kind of switched that role, good cop, bad cop, because we're all here for the overall to save the district money. So sometimes it's not always fun, but as you know, in K-12, special elementary school, they love to be on top of winning something. So we kind of created little incentives of schools pretty much being the best energy efficient. So a lot of times, as we send these things out to principals, I will get feedback saying, did we do good this weekend? And things of that nature. And also, I have a golden pretty much advantage of me overseeing custodial, where we do implement this into our custodial practice. There's always one straggler hanging around, maybe a teacher or admin leaving the building after hours and just forget to turn off some lighting or things like that. So, and sometimes they're coming in on the weekend, trying to get caught up. So what we try to do, we just basically try to centralize everything we have through our platform to schedule events and then sometimes we run into, as you all know, let's say the basketball team lose on Friday. Coaches say, we coming in on Saturday, we're going to practice. Good old Jessica coming through the halls with a flashlight, and she finds that the whole team is there. They basically want AC and HVAC and things in the gyms, and they're basically practicing. Well, this wasn't scheduled. These are when Paul get the call, and they're asking, hey, Paul, can you turn these things on? And that's really been an ongoing. A lot of times things are just kind of pop up. We try to do as best as we can, but the good thing about it, Paul's expertise is a lot of times he knows pretty much how to manage this, how to turn the system on, get a good time when they're leaving, and that way we don't have to turn the entire building HVAC on, but we can actually streamline it to particular areas of the building. So that teamwork very much helps us. This audit is really our saving grace. So we really knows what's going on in our schools after hour, and pretty much we can stay on top of it in the dress. And with that, Paul?
Jessica finds it, I fix it.
Yep.
I
That's pretty much it.
like that. Good job, guys. Next slide, please.
You got it.
All right, before we dive into all these numbers, I just want to talk a little bit about it. So when Jessica get back from the schools and things like that, this is an action. Through the partnership, we gain this energy culture, consistent data analysis, and clear performance tracking. It aligns with our district leadership, facility staff, school administrators, and we all have that shared goal that Jessica mentioned earlier. We implemented regular energy performance reviews, monthly site leveling reporting, standardized, again, HVAC scheduling protocol. So again, as Jessica talked about, we have a checklist and things of this nature to make sure everything is tidied up. And I go back to the scent warmers and the lamps off and the strobe lights in the classroom turned off and things like that. And just also having the energy awareness, that communication alone, as Jessica provides those post-it notes and build that morale up to support us throughout the district. And it aligns with senior cabinet leadership, principals, facility staff, the energy coaches. And that data is being used in conversations. That is not just a bill, but trends, performance comparison, and improvement targets. Energy performance transparent and is measurable. And I'm gonna let Jessica give you a little bit of insight of what you're looking at on the screen.
So the left side is just the performance from the base year, which I believe is 2019, I believe. Yeah. But so you get to see our savings. So we have 15.2 overall savings, and as you can see, it's just gone up and up and up, which is great. And you don't get that kind of thing without everyone doing their part. It's very important. If one person lacks, it's just not going to work out. Everyone has to do their part. On the other side, you can see my audits. So within a 12-month span, I've done 839 audits. That's an average of 16 audits a week. I do most of those on the weekend because that's the best time to catch any issues, to check occupancy, things like that, to look at meters to make sure, they're not running, things like that. Um, so I also do occupied audits, which kind of goes hand in hand with the Go Green initiative. And I'm making sure that the building envelope is good, that the air feels good, and I check the classrooms, making sure that those units are running correctly. I even talk with the staff to make sure that they feel comfortable in the building. So it's not just unoccupied audits, it's occupied audits as well. And I enjoy the unoccupied audits because I get to look at mechanical things and stuff like that. But it's always nice to be able to have a nice conversation and get everyone's feedback as well.
Oh, you want to? So looking also at this, we're talking from Georgia. We have to adhere to Georgia Power. So a lot of that is RTP, real-time pricing. Also on-peak and off-peak pricing. We have no control over those things. As you know, we experienced the winter storms and things like that. We're in budgeting season now, and we are trying to predict how much we will spend in energy costs. So that's where the EUI comes into play, and Jessica really can show us kilowatts and things of that thing that's being used. We can't control the pricing, but we can show how much we are saving in kilowatts and things of that nature. So this is very essential to us in our action of she's providing this information to us so we can actually show the investment and the partnership and where we stand throughout the district by having synergistics on our team and partner with us. But this is valuable information. This also goes into the water bill. A lot of times Jessica can find that we have a leak before anyone notices. I always use the example, if you put a hole in the middle of the floor, people may say something the first day, but the second, the third, and fourth day, they just walk around it. At some point, somebody may throw a board or something over it. But the problem is people are just accustomed to, the same old thing over and over, and they do not notify anybody. They just kind of work around it. So a lot of times, Jessica is finding things on the water bill side, and we actually get a reimbursement sometimes because we detect leaks before anyone reports it. Also, I have my custodial staff to let us know something. Just don't mop up the same puddle every day. Let us know something. If we all heard of this, if you see something, say something kind of initiative. But that having that third eye, and like she said, even when we do have the occupied buildings audits, it's still things that the average eye or ear will not catch. This is something that she have that expertise and basically brings it to us and let us know. We have saved the district thousands and probably hundred thousands of dollars by just doing things and finding it early before it erupts to something bigger. We all know small leaks turn into big leaks for the most part. So these are things that these numbers can show us without basically on a ticket or someone just walking throughout the building. Next slide, please. Culture. So, what are our culture begins? School level engagement, communication strategies, shared responsibilities. Energy efficient is a part of our culture here. When schools understand their role, they see the impact of their actions. Sustainability becomes a shared responsibility rather than a top-down directive, not from just Antonio, but from the superintendent himself. Sustainability cannot be mandated, but it must be embraced. And that's what we try to do here. We engage schools leaders by again sharing the building's level performance reports. So not all the times when we send these PL audits is always negative. Sometimes I do highlight those schools and saying thank you for having these schools lights off and things of that nature. So we do share throughout the district. Recognizing improvements, providing clear and achievable expectations. So we do ask the school to help us, but nothing over and beyond. When principals understand their building energy profile, the behavior have shifts. We have seen lights get turned off. Schedules are now respected. As we all know, comfort is something relative to the person. We try to stay within again in that 68 to 72 degrees, but we try to that's always relative. So they are actually respect our schedule more so. So when they call Paul or Jessica and say it's hot in here, and we can actually show that if we go back to the building automation system, we can actually show, hey, this is where your room stands. Now we have some tricksters in these classrooms where we have had teachers become show how bright and how smart they are. So we have had issues where teachers will put lamps next to the thermostat. We have had Paul. I know you had some issues with teachers
Ice
doing
bags over 'em.
ice bags.
Yeah, paper towels wrapped around them.
So we have some clever teachers, and I'm not just ragging on Bibb County. I know this happened to everyone, so everyone should be able to relate. But these things cause these units to come on and cut off, and a lot of times these are not only just behavior issues on the school side, but it also address some things to make us come out. So the culture is being built. After hours use has become intentional now. I would say that for the most part, we do have our ADs, athletic directors mandate. We have a Wednesday ongoing meeting to verify with Paul and Jessica and the team of events so we can be abreast and know as much as we can about after hours. Again, we can't predict what coach is going to do or after a tough loss and things of that nature. But also, it actually is a respected culture at this point. I always like to use the gears. You see the blue gears go to the left, the right gears goes to the right. But in the middle, you always see that we could join in the middle. And that's the great thing about gears. We all got our separate responsibilities, but we all have the shared goal. And that's when we would connect in the middle. Without the clear communication, none of this is possible to share that responsibility. Next slide. Where we are today. Well, we have improved automation use. We have standard practice. We reduce energy waste. Today, we operate more consistently. Clarity. Automation supports our goal. Standardized practice helps ensure the building performs as intended. We have standardized temperature set points, as I mentioned. Improved scheduling compliance. Reduce after-hour HVAC runtime. Faster response to issues. Automation now support those disciplined operations. We really have reduced unnecessary ones. Improved seasonal transitions. Extended equipment lifespan. Operational clarity has improved both efficiency and predictability. As you see, we are holding a nice Energy Star with the superintendent, Jessica and Paul and myself. We rank third in the state of Georgia, K-12, for energy efficiency throughout K-12 public schools. That's a high, and we're shooting for number one, but we will take that charge, okay? So these measures have got us to where we are today, where we actually can be top tier energy efficient in the state of Georgia. Okay. Anything you guys want to add to that?
Well, doing Energy Star and doing the energy program here and the Go Green Initiative, it all comes together, and it's just more steps to help us improve and keep everything going. So it all comes together in the end, as you said. Works well.
Also, if we went strictly off numbers, I think our percentages are a lot higher.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, I think our CFO sometimes thinks we pay for this award, but seriously, this is a third-party award. This is awarded from Energy Star. This is not just Synergistics giving us this award, but this is actually coming from Energy Star. This recognition validates our effort. The benchmarking gives us transparencies and a roadmap to continual improvement. So we don't take it lightly, with Energy Star. But Energy Star also helps us with comparing performance nationally. It identifies unperforming buildings, establish performing targets, track year-over-year progress. We have one building in the district that's over 100+ years old, and it actually reached Energy Star. That goes to show it's not about the age of the building for Energy Star. It's about basically complying to these things and keeping our age units working efficient. So a lot of times it is really overlooked, but we really do hone in on our Energy Star. These things really, energy management actually helps us to cost avoidance, environmental stewardship, improve learning environments. It goes beyond those measures uh, and beyond the savings. As I said earlier, efficient building supports healthier, more comfortable classroom while allowing the resources to reinvest in students and instruction. So those again, those taxpayers' dollars are going to more than just our just HVAC units sometimes all the time. Is going to things where we really need for our classrooms. Um, and also, I just want to talk a little bit about integrating the energy efficiency and now our indoor air quality. I always say versus indoor air quality. So now we have a ventilation balance because now our units are off and now we're building that stagnant air. How do we overcome that? Healthy buildings, smart controls. As Paul will tell you a lot about controls, but energy efficient and indoor air quality are not competing priority. Is when we align them correctly. They support healthier schools. They build the better outcomes for students and staff. And the long-term vision is basically sustainability, as you heard me say countless times. Uh, Energy efficient is not a one-time project. It is an ongoing strategy embedded in how we manage and plan our facilities. So our main thing that we want to have for key lessons for our district is the leadership alignment and that support from our district, the data-driven decision, and the strong partnership that we do have with Synergistic. Our biggest takeaway is alignment. Again, the leadership, the data, technology, and again, our partnership with Synergistic. So before we get to closing for questions and answers, again, I would like to thank Go Green Initiative, Synergistic for their partnership and support. We appreciate their opportunity to share our journey. Look forward to your questions. And energy efficiency is more than kilowatts and dollars. It's about stewardship. It's about discipline. It's about protecting our resources so they can be redirected to the students again. I'm proud of how far we have come and excited about what's ahead. I look forward to your questions. Next slide.
All right. Boy, that was amazing. And I am thrilled to death that we have you guys here with us for people to ask questions. Just a reminder, everybody, if you do have questions, go to the little Q&A box in your Zoom tab and put your questions in there. We will get to all of them. I have a few myself. But also, if you want to reach out to Antonio, Paul, Jessica, and talk to them about either what their school district has done, how they have partnered with Synergistic, any of the details, these are their email addresses. And I will say that as we do every month, we are recording this so that we can put it on our YouTube channel. And we will be sending the link to the recorded video out to everybody. In addition, when you go to the recorded, for instance, if somebody that you wish would have been here to watch this couldn't make it and you want to send the recorded session to them, in the video description on YouTube, you'll see a link to their slides. You'll see several other links. And so don't forget to take a look at that video description box along with the video itself. We do have a question coming in, but real quick, before we dive into that, I'm going to stop sharing. And in a moment, I will say that I am going to put the slides back up for just a second because we have two QR codes to share with you all before we go today. But here's the first question for you all, Antonio. It says, this is from Dan Vale. He says you showed $4.2 million in savings, but that's only 15 to 17% of the total bill. Any comments on that? Or do you want me to bring that slide, that performance slide back up? You let me know.
Yes, please.
Okay, let me bring that slide back up. One moment, please. Okay. There we go. I believe that's the slide we're looking at. So it looks like what he's saying is about $4.2 million in program savings. But that's only 15% of the bill. Is that correct? Maybe we're reading this incorrectly.
No, I can't see it.
I'm sorry, guys. We got
I I will say, as I'm reading it, this looks like cumulative program
Yeah.
savings versus every year. So I think, Dan, as I'm reading this, it looks like the savings continue to accumulate up to a total of 4.2. 4.2 million isn't 15% of their annual bill. This is an aggregate 15% savings over time. Is that right, Jessica?
Yes,
correct.
that's right.
I'm sorry. I
Okay.
couldn't but that is correct. Like she said, she stated she started from a baseline of I think 2019, 2020, and
Mm-hmm.
she's turning to now. So that is over the year. So I mean, honestly, we are probably around the $4 million for electricity per year. We
Mm-hmm.
do have 45 sites. Out of those 45 sites, 37 to 38 are teaching and learning. And then, of course, we have summer schools and 21st centuries and after
Mm-hmm.
school summer. So that is a collectively number as we go throughout since the 2019 to 2020 baseline model.
Gotcha. That makes perfect sense. And Dan was also asking how many schools participated and went through the program. And I understand that number may change. Maybe I don't know if you guys started with just a handful of schools and built your way up, or if you made it district wide from the beginning. But talk to us about that process of involving that many schools. That's not a small district.
Uh, that's an up and down question. A lot of times I go to national conference and I feel like we are small when we go, of course, like the big schools, like Chicago with 700 schools and things like that. But no, I think
Hmm.
we have 45 sites. We have 37 to 38 schools that are teaching and learning from grammar all the way to high school. A lot of our other sites are pretty much operational sites, central office, and things of that nature. But no, we went district wide. So when we say the third in the state of Georgia, we it's hard to compare to bigger districts. So it's actually compared to how many schools actually was Energy Star approved. So when I
Hmm.
said we was 29 schools out of those 38 teaching and learning schools that was Energy Star, it's hard to compete with a Gwinnett County that has over 300 schools. So
Yeah.
percentage wise, as Paul mentioned, I think percentage wise, we are number one. But to say that this school district of this size that can almost have more than 75% of their schools teaching and learning, when you have students and staff to abide by a culture shift, is phenomenal. So yes, we went district wide. So the thing is, we do want schools to participate as much as possible and get principals on board. You get the
Yeah.
principals on board, the teachers go far. One thing that we do run into, and we have in the past, is ran into not school pride, but we run into some safety issues where some schools want to put paper up and cover outlets and put a scent warmer on top of the paper or just different things that we only catch. We also catch safety hazards as well. But to answer that question, we went district wide.
That's impressive.
And this started in 1986. This is before Antonia, Jessica, and Paul and I came. I think
Uh-huh.
now we have revolutionized basically, and basically we have really brought it to this point. I think it all started with someone going around flipping the light bulb, and then and to from what it have morphed into now. So I think even this is my third year in the district, and I think Paul was pretty much already kind of centralizing this and getting it pretty much where we want to get it. And Jessica came 2 years within, and we really just took this to the next level. And I'm can be more happy of this team. But to answer Dan's question, it is a district-wide approach.
And I have to tell you, as the person doing the Energy Star audits, it doesn't feel like a small district doing all those buildings. Trust me.
Yeah, I bet not. I bet not. I mean, we work with school districts that are everything from one school building to hundreds of school buildings. And so you guys are in the middle there. But you're not that small, really. You're a good sized district, and this is very impressive to do it district wide. I feel like, everybody can relate to this in some way. Everybody's parent or grandparent was walking around turning off light switches saying, we weren't born in a barn, close the door, or, turn off the lights when you're not in the room. This is the grown up version of that, the institutionalized version of that. But one of the things that I wanted to ask, you guys have this EUI measurement on the performance page, and I think this is a really important metric that Energy Star Portfolio Manager, which is the EPA's tool that's been around since the 90s, helps school districts get a grip on. And basically, it's the amount of energy that you're using per square foot. And this is what allows you to look at maybe a small little elementary building next to a great big high school building and compare apples and apples. Basically, how much energy are they using per square foot? And it allows you to see that, the building and the people in those buildings can be measured against one another, even if the size of the buildings vary greatly. And is there anything that you guys have been able to learn by looking at the energy use intensity or EUIs for all of your campuses together to say, hey, wait, why is this, building way off the chart and this building that we thought maybe wasn't so energy efficient is actually doing all right? Have you had any epiphanies with EUI scores?
I mean,
On the buildings that we've had real time metering on them, you can make changes to see from day to day if
Uh-huh.
changes are making improvements or not improvements, which is
Uh-huh.
a great. But I don't really go back to the EUI. I pay attention to the actual usage.
Uh-huh.
And
Yep.
Jill, I would also add too, as I related to and mentioned earlier, was that the oldest building that we have in our district was Energy Star,
That's
and
amazing.
and this building is, and it's in a historical district, and that meaning windows are wood trim window, single pane, things that we cannot change. That means that a lot of it is really the school buying into the culture of energy management. It takes that leadership. As I said, it's not a technology thing; it's a culture, but also it is a behavior thing too, and that buying into that culture. So that school winning like an Energy Star versus we have schools less than 5 years old that did not get Energy Star.
Yep.
So the EUI is great, like Paul said, but if you got that new school that does not want to put their events in the facilitron where we can actually, turn it on and turn
Mm-hmm.
it off, coming after hours, turning lights on, doing different things. If they do not buy into the culture, then the footprint of the school is only a small portion of how do we buy into the energy management. So that
Yep.
we honestly every year we have a leadership symposium where we have all our senior management, our principals, assistant that we talk about. Please not only submit a ticket for facility and maintenance where you need something done, but please submit a ticket or submit an event request to let us know when you're actually in these buildings and things of that nature, so we can really also monitor it for the
Mm-hmm.
most.
One more question from me. I don't see any more in the Q&A, and I'll be honest, guys, I do get geeky about energy in school districts and energy efficiency, so I could, but I won't go on for days with you guys because this is a great example of how to manage energy in a school district, especially in a school district with weather. I mean, you guys have weather in both extremes, and so this is no easy task. But let me ask you this: when you're communicating this kind of information to teachers, to parents, to students, have you gotten to the point in the program, and this may be something you have as a goal for later, where people say, okay, we've saved this amount of money. what can we do with that? You know, did that save teacher jobs? Did that help us get new computers? Has there been this idea that every dollar we save, you know, on our utility bill is a dollar we can use for something that helps educate children? Has there been discussion around that?
I wish they appreciate this that much.
That is a great question, Jill. We wish they would ask those questions. Really the answer to that is I tell everyone, fund balance is not always fun, because when we do save those, have those savings in general fund, it goes to the fund balance, and of course, it's not always broken down as where those funds actually go.
Yeah.
We know if we budget so much for this year, and honestly, you hit the nail on the head here, where we are trying to Paul and I, we really just got to doing our utility budget, and we are projecting almost 1 million more just because of in Macon, Georgia. At this point, we cannot predict the weather. We
Yes.
had 12 degrees last week. It is almost 80 degrees here today.
Oh
Uh,
my word.
we cannot keep up with this. So now we have units that chillers that operate off ambient air and different things. So we're trying, and then we have a winter storm come through. Next
Yeah.
week we'll be down in the middle 50s. So we are trying to pretty much predict as much as we can, and we are dangled from the strain of Georgia Power.
Yeah.
There's nothing we can do. So we're pretty much stuck in that realm of a Georgia Power.
Uh, I was going to say that we've made it so much part of the culture here that this is normal for everybody. They don't see that as a shocking thing. It's
Uh-huh.
normal.
Mm.
Uh-huh. Well, I
I
just
think
want to know where you all keep your capes because you're heroes. I mean, this is hard. There's a lot to do to manage energy for that many buildings, that many, you know, instructional sites, and to earn Energy Star performance awards is not easy. You really have to be in the upper echelons, not just in the state of Georgia, but nationally. And so I just want to thank you guys so much for sharing your information, your story, your journey, and wisdom with us today. I want to mention before folks have to sign off for their next meeting that NSBA, the National School Boards Association, has dedicated its annual Magna Awards to energy efficiency and indoor air quality. And on their website, there's an application that'll be opening up in a couple of months, but you can start earning points for that now. So if you would like to earn points towards next year's Magna Awards, go ahead, get this QR code, fill out a quick little survey, and you will get a PDF certificate that says you went to this webinar and you know what it's all about. And that is something you should save so that you can use that in your application for the Magna Awards. And one last thing, as I mentioned, this is a monthly webinar series. And so next month, we do have another webinar. March 10th, we're going to have part two of practical indoor air quality management strategies for tribal school districts. And so if you take a snap of that QR code, you can easily register for that. And I hope you all will. Are there any other questions that anyone wants to post in the Q&A section? I don't see any. Antonio, Paul, Jessica, anything else you want to say? Anything else you want to, wisdom you want to drop on us? Because this has been amazing.
I will say that what you were talking about, it gets harder. It does. I came to the district 2 years ago, and once I got my initial bearings and was able to find things and stuff like that, that next year it was harder for me to find things. I have
Mhm.
to really dive deep into these buildings to find things wrong. And I'm not trying to find things wrong, but I'm trying to,
Hold
you
on,
know,
Jessica. If I wasn't doing my job right,
Continuous improvement, right? You know, that's right. Well,
it takes a
you
lot to try
guys
and find
have
things.
You have a lot to be proud of, and we are proud to partner with you and proud to share your story with other school districts who I'm sure will be reaching out for collaboration and for wisdom. Thank you all for joining us. We hope to see everyone with us again next month. Until then, check out our website for all kinds of grant opportunities and other trainings at gogreeninitiative.org. Everybody have a wonderful week and do something in your life to go green.
Thank you.